wanderer walking through a dark valley wore a pendant of death around his neck, symbolizing the eternal struggle of souls on the border of two worlds. His journey was long and lonely, each step enveloping the surrounding world in darkness, making the darkness part of his being. Death became a friend to him, and darkness love, for in this gloomy solitude he found his once. An encounter with a wanderer named Miranda opened a new chapter in his life. Miranda was a mysterious woman, shrouded in mystery and power. She told him of an ancient prophecy, according to which the world was on the brink of destruction, and only one person could save it. The wanderer, tired of his endless journey, was initially skeptical of her words, but soon realized that Miranda knew more about him than anyone else. Together they embarked on a long journey, during which the wanderer learned much about the world and about himself. They passed through cities where corruption and greed reigned, through villages devastated by war and poverty. But they also met people who, despite all the difficulties, maintained kindness in their hearts. Miranda told the wanderer about an ancient source of power, hidden in the heart of a forgotten forest. This source could give the wanderer the key to understanding his true destiny and the purpose of his journey. Together, they overcame many obstacles, encountering friends and foes, uncovering long-forgotten secrets, and learning deep truths about the world. The deeper they delved into the mysteries of this world, the more dangerous their adventures became. The wanderer began to understand that each of his choices and actions had profound consequences, not only for himself but for the whole world. He realized that his journey was not just a physical path, but a spiritual journey of self-discovery and understanding his role in the world. In their journey, Miranda and the wanderer faced various difficulties and dangers. They crossed forgotten lands where legends came to life and impenetrable jungles where every step could be the last. In one of the lost cities, they found ancient manuscripts that told of the past of this world, the wars between ancient civilizations, and the catastrophes that changed the course of history. As they moved forward, the wanderer began to understand that his fate was closely linked to the fate of this world. Miranda taught him the art of magic and ancient knowledge, which helped him uncover hidden powers within himself. He learned to control the elements, read the signs of fate, and see what was hidden from the eyes of ordinary people. In one of the ancient temples, they discovered a crystal emitting a mysterious energy. Miranda explained that this crystal was the key to deciphering the ancient prophecy. However, their discovery attracted the attention of a powerful enemy, the dark wizard Azeroth, who had long sought this crystal to use its power to conquer the world. Azeroth sent his minions to attack the wanderer and Miranda. In the fierce battle, Miranda was seriously wounded, and the wanderer was forced to use all his skills and powers to repel the attack. After the battle, they realized that they needed to find the ancient source of power as soon as possible before Azeroth could reach it. The journey became increasingly dangerous. They crossed snow-covered mountains, where every step could be the last due to hidden crevices and avalanches, and crossed waterless deserts, where every sip of water was worth its weight in gold. But despite all the difficulties, the wanderer and Miranda continued to move forward, driven by faith in their mission. As they approached their goal, their journey became increasingly difficult and dangerous. Miranda and the wanderer reached the Forbidden Lands, where, according to legend, the source of ancient power was located. Since were full of dangers, from sinister creatures guarding their territories to cunning traps set by ancient civilizations. In one of the ancient ruins, they found a map indicating the way to a lost temple, where, according to legend, the key to deciphering the prophecy was they crossed collapsed bridges, overcame deep gorges, and solved complex puzzles left by the temple guards. Inside the temple, they faced a trial that required not only physical strength, but also wisdom. They had to go through a series of trials, each of which tested their courage, determination, and ability to understand deep truths. In the end, they found an ancient artifact, a glowing crystal emitting a soft but powerful light. At the moment the wanderer touched the crystal, he felt a strange sensation. Visions flashed in his mind, moments from the past and possible futures, and he saw how his own actions could affect the fate of the world. Miranda explained that the crystal allows seeing the true nature of things, and that this knowledge is the key to saving the world from the threat posed by Azeroth. However, the success of their mission was questioned when they discovered that Azeroth had already found a way to the source of power and was planning to use it for his dark purposes. The Wanderer and Miranda realized that they had little time and that they had to act quickly and decisively. Their journey brought them back to the civilized world, where they tried to unite nations and kingdoms to fight against Azeroth. Some doubted their words, others feared the wizard's power, but thanks to Miranda's wisdom and persuasiveness, as well as the Wanderer's unwavering determination, they were able to gather an army ready to stand against the forces of darkness. Gathering troops from all corners of the world, the Wanderer and Miranda began to prepare for the decisive battle with Azeroth. They had to not only train the warriors, but also teach them to use magic and ancient fighting techniques to withstand the powerful forces of the enemy. While the troops were preparing for battle, the Wanderer and Miranda went in search of allies among other peoples and creatures of this world. They met with dwarves who possessed ancient knowledge of blacksmithing and agreed to create weapons for their army. Then they went to the elves, masters of bow and arrow, who also joined their call. As the day of battle approached, the tension grew. The Wanderer, realizing the full responsibility resting on his shoulders, spent long hours in contemplation and planning. Miranda, seeing his anxiety, supported him, reminding him of the importance of their mission and faith in their success. Finally, the day of battle arrived. The armies gathered on the plain in front of Azeroth's castle, where the sky was covered with dark clouds, and the air was filled with anticipation of the collision. The Wanderer led the troops, standing in the front lines, ready for battle. Miranda, using her magical powers, protected them from the enemy's attacks. The battle began with a flurry of magical spells and arrows flying across the battlefield. The Wanderer's troops fought bravely, despite the immense power of the enemy. The Wanderer, fighting at the forefront, set an example of courage and valor, inspiring his soldiers. In the heat of battle, when it seemed that the enemy's forces were beginning to prevail, the Wanderer used the magic of the crystal, which allowed him to unlock hidden reserves of his strength. At that moment, the battlefield was illuminated with bright light, and Azeroth, blinded and stunned, lost control of his powers. Using this moment, the Wanderer's troops struck a decisive blow. Azeroth was defeated, his dark forces dissipated, and the world was saved from the threat of his dominion. After the victory over Azeroth, the world slowly began to return to life. The ruins of the enemy's castle served as a reminder of the dark times now left in the past. The Wanderer and Miranda, heroes of this great battle, were greeted as safe, but victory brought not only joy, but also an understanding of the heavy responsibility they now. Restoring the world after years of war and destruction was not an easy task. The Wanderer, using the knowledge gained during his journey, helped peoples restore their lands and lives. Miranda, for her part, trained young magicians so that they could use their powers for good and prevent similar threats in the future. Over time, the Wanderer began to feel that his path was not yet complete. His heart still lived with a thirst for travel and discovery. He understood that his role in this world was not limited to just defeating Azeroth. Miranda, seeing his restlessness, supported his decision to continue traveling in search of new knowledge and adventures. Saying goodbye to Miranda and his friends, the Wanderer embarked on a new journey. He explored forgotten lands, met various peoples, and learned new truths about the world. In every place he came to, he left a part of his knowledge, helping people and revealing the secrets of ancient civilizations. On one of his trips, the Wanderer found an ancient artifact that predicted the emergence of a new threat to the world. Realizing that his task was to protect the world, he again joined forces with Miranda to confront this new danger together. Together they embarked on a new journey, full of dangers and discoveries. This time their path led them to lands where times mixed and the reality of illusions became barely distinguishable. Here every step could change the course of history, and every decision had unpredictable consequences. The journey of the Wanderer and Miranda through the lands where time and reality intertwined was full of trials. They encountered mysterious creatures and unraveled ancient mysteries that helped them understand the nature of the new threat looming over the world. This threat was unlike anything they had faced before. It was a force capable of distorting the very With each step forward, they felt the burden of responsibility growing heavier on their shoulders. They knew that their actions depended on the fate of many worlds intertwined in this mysterious space. At the end of their journey, they reached the Temple of Time, a place where the power governing the flow of time was concentrated. Here, the Wanderer and Miranda faced their final trial. Using all their knowledge and magical powers, they were able to overcome the distortions of time and restore the balance between the worlds. After this great feat, they returned to their world, which now seemed even more precious and valuable to them. Their adventures and trials taught them a lot, and they became wiser and stronger. The Wanderer and Miranda continued their lives, becoming guardians of the balance between different worlds and dimensions. Their names entered legends, and their feats were passed down from generation to generation. But the most important thing they learned in their wanderings was that every moment of life is a priceless gift, and that true magic lies in the ability to appreciate and love this world and those who are nearby. And so, the story of the Wanderer and Miranda, but their spirit continued to live in the hearts of those who believe in magic's sincerity and the strength of spirit.